Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Look, if you're a student right now and you're aiming to land a data analytics role at a massive company like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, or even one of those high-growth startups, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to walk through the ultimate 2026 analytics roadmap, and we're looking at this specifically from your perspective, a student or fresh grad who really needs to stand out in a crowded market. I'm going to show you exactly which projects to build, the precise order to build them in, and most importantly, how to position yourself so hiring managers actually stop and notice you.
Okay, let's dive into this. You know, the absolute most common mistake fresh applicants make is just copying a step-by-step tutorial, building a bunch of random charts, and calling it analysis. But here's the reality. Companies don't hire analysts just to build charts. They hire them to solve problems. The applicant who actually gets hired is the one who builds projects demonstrating end-to-end business logic. They understand a messy problem, clean up the data, generate real insights, and actually recommend a business decision based on that data. That's the game changer.
So to get you to that hired tier, we've broken this down into a 5-step staircase to mastery. It's a progression. We'll start with fundamentals first, then move up to market logic, climb into advanced product strategy, figure out your essential tools, and finally top it all off with the interview strategy.
All right, let's jump right into step 1, which is all about getting your fundamentals down and mastering the messy data.
This is where every single real-world analytics project begins. And as a student, it's a foundation you absolutely, literally cannot skip. For your very first project, you need to focus on exploratory data analysis, or EDA. Before anyone writes complex code or starts throwing around terms like machine learning, you have to ask, what does this data actually contain? Is it clean? Does it even make sense? EDA is that foundational step where you translate raw, messy numbers into your initial business insights. It shows a hiring manager that you know how to spot the patterns that everyone else misses.
So, here is exactly how you should sequence your technical skills during this first EDA project to keep from getting overwhelmed. Start simple, right? Grasp the core logic in Excel. Honestly, if you can explain your thinking clearly in Excel, that's incredibly impressive to a hiring manager. Next, as your datasets inevitably get larger, move over to SQL to filter those databases using simple commands like select, where, and group by to calculate your averages. And then finally, scale up your ability to handle really messy data using Python's pandas library to clean out missing values. Mastering these technical skills simplifies complex data and proves your foundation is rock solid.
Moving up the staircase, we hit step 2. This is where we shift our focus to applying that data to real business expansion.
Once your foundation is set, we move from just cleaning data to actually understanding marketplace dynamics. Think about using a real-world Zomato dataset for this second project. Companies like Zomato, Swiggy, or Uber Eats, they care about demand, pricing, and customer satisfaction. When you present this project in an interview, you don't just want to rattle off averages. You want to pose high-level, strategic questions. Ask them, if Zomato wants to expand in a Tier 2 city, which cuisine category should they prioritize? Because look, anyone can build a comparison chart. But looking at data and confidently recommending an expansion strategy backed by evidence, that gets you the job.
For your third project, we're going to pivot internally. You're going to build a workforce analytics dashboard, focusing on employee productivity and retention. Why? Because talent is expensive, and losing good employees is even more expensive. You really need to show hiring managers that you understand internal company efficiency is a massive strategic priority. It's not just some standard HR task.
But to do this successfully, you have to define clear KPIs before you even think about touching a dashboard. Take attrition rate, for example. It's calculated as the number of employees who left divided by the total number of employees. By defining and measuring core organizational performance metrics like this right up front, you prove to a hiring manager that you are fluent in complex business data.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens next. Say you find out sales has a 25% attrition rate, which is significantly higher than marketing or engineering. Visualizing that is just step 1. Don't just report the past. You have to analyze why it's happening. Is it a lower salary issue? Is it high overtime? Is it intense performance pressure? Asking these follow-up questions is exactly what elevates your portfolio from basic to advanced. When you are finally ready to present this third project in something like Power BI or Tableau, you have to structure it with total intention. Step 1. Build a total overview showing total employees and average salary. Step 2. Add department comparisons to contrast performance. Step 3. Include risk layers, highlighting early warning indicators, like predicting the probability of attrition. This specific sequence shows deep, structural thinking, which managers love.
All right, stepping up to the next level. This is where we get into advanced product strategy and start thinking like a true platform owner.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how incredibly strong it makes you look for product and strategy roles. Let's apply this to a two-sided marketplace of hosts and customers for your fourth project. By asking, if Airbnb wants to improve host earnings in Bangalore, what pricing strategy is best, you are demonstrating that you understand price elasticity. Does increasing the price actually reduce occupancy? By bringing this exact type of question to an interview, you prove you have high-level product optimization skills.
Then, for project number 5, you'll tackle a YouTube trending content strategy. The algorithm drives over 70% of what people watch, right? So treat this project like you are already part of the YouTube product team. You'll want to analyze video length affects engagement, correlate upload timings with higher views, evaluate if titles with numbers trend more.
And here is the ultimate flex for your interview. Bring this provocative question to the table. If you were YouTube, how would you adjust the recommendation system based on trending data? Wow, it shifts the conversation entirely. Suddenly, you aren't just a student reporting numbers anymore. You're demonstrating that you deeply understand massive big tech platform strategy and user behavior.
Okay, moving on to our 4th step. Let's talk about the essential tools and prioritizing the right software for all these projects.
So the crucial point is that you need to anchor your learning to specific tasks so you don't waste time learning the wrong things. Use Excel and SQL for basic EDA and logic, like in Project 1. Prioritize Python and Pandas when you need to predict risk or clean, highly complex data, which fits perfectly with Projects 3 and 4. And save Power BI strictly for when you need to visualize structured dashboards like your HR project. Always let the business problem dictate the tool, not the other way around.
Finally, step 5. You've built the projects, now how do you actually get the job? We need to talk about applying the smart way.
Let's move to and see how this builds a highly tactical job hunt. Because building the projects is only half the battle. You absolutely cannot just blindly apply to thousands of portals. Use LinkedIn filters specifically for new grad or 0 to 2 years and filter by the past 24 hours to catch fresh postings before they get flooded. Search company career pages directly. And most importantly, this is key, find the recruiter or hiring manager on LinkedIn and send a clear, short, confident, direct message. Most candidates never do this, which means doing it instantly sets you apart from the pack.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. Take a hard look at your current projects. If you were the hiring manager, would you hire you based on your current portfolio? Really think about it. If the answer is no, or if your portfolio is just a bunch of tutorial copies, well, you now have the exact roadmap to fix it. Start with Project 1, focus obsessively on the business logic, use the right tools for the right job, and go build a portfolio that simply cannot be ignored. Get out there and start building.